Can't believe it ends this way. Thought you'd always stay. Now I gotta wonder what I've changed. Think I have to go, walking all alone. Hate to see it all go down the drain. Wanted to be with you, wanted to make it through, but did you? I swear I knew. Now that it's over, you blame it all on me. I know I should be bitter, but baby, right now I'm bittersweet. I'm getting over what you put me through, and let's say I'm done crying, but baby, I don't lie like you do. You do, you do. Right now I'm bittersweet. Right now I'm bittersweet. One day I wake up sad, but go to bed so glad, knowing you know what you could have had. Now I'm choosing me, it wasn't so easy. God forbid forever on my knees. No, you won't make it right, can't look me in the eyes. Good for you, I always think I knew. Now that it's over, you blame it all on me. I know I should be bitter, but baby, right now I'm bittersweet. I'm getting over what you put me through, and then say I'm done crying, but baby, I don't lie like you do. You do, you do. Right now I'm bittersweet. Ooh, right now I'm bittersweet. I lay awake thinking, how did I let you go? Getting away unscathed for so damn long. I got away, took my time, I'm okay alone, and you'll stay knowing you'll forever know how hard I tried with you. Now that it's over, you blame it all on me. I know I should be bitter, but baby, right now I'm bittersweet. I'm getting over what you put me through, and let's say I'm done crying, but baby, I don't lie like you do. You do, you do. Right now I'm bittersweet. Right now I'm bittersweet.
Hello and happy Saturday. Hope everyone is doing good. I was going to do this as a pre-record, and then it didn't record correctly, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'll just go live really quick, and we can give a little update onto my live yesterday about JLR and Magnolia. Magnolia posted on X a couple hours ago in response to all the hubbub about her private and personal life, and as well as Jennifer Coffindeffer also commented on the situation. She is a retired FBI agent, or an ex-FBI agent. I don't know if she's retired exactly what, but she has, she knows JLR. I don't know how acquainted she is with him, but she's definitely, in her comments, said that she is saying his praises back in the day for his boots on the ground work, but it doesn't negate from him being a domestic abuser. So, and then it also has one thing that I didn't go over, what was in the restraining order that Magnolia wrote down. So there's also that in the comments of some of these posts. So I wanted to share that with you guys, just give you a little quick update. It won't be live long. So let's go over here to Jennifer Coffindeffer first. And she says, I always appreciated Magnolia. She seemed to change JLR investigates, but as most of this platform know, one of my biggest advocacy focuses is domestic violence. No room for it. JLR, if you did this to Magnolia, you deserve the harshest punishment possible. Signs of physical assault were evident. Beyond disappointed for someone I hope deserved a second chance and had changed, meaning JLR. Does anyone really change? ... No. Hashtag domestic abuse awareness, hashtag domestic abuse. And this has the report that I did read yesterday. She tagged the wrong Magnolia, so people are just kind of going off about that. And then it's unacceptable no matter what. There's no justification and there's no fixing this. So this is, I don't know how much bigger I can get this. Not much. Maybe if I make it smaller, it'll make this bigger. All right. Well, this is the affidavit accompanying a petition for domestic order of protection. So it says, her name, petitioner, in the above named order. So let's say I'm Magnolia, petitioner in the above named order of protection. I am the petitioner of the above captioned case for petition for an order of protection against the named respondent. I, in good faith, believe I have entitled to an order of protection against the respondent, and I submit this affidavit in accordance to Arkansas Code annotated. So this is where Arkansas is mentioned, because yesterday I had said something to the contrary of, where did she live? This happened in Washington. They supposedly live together in Florida, but I had heard something about Arkansas. Well, the protection order is out of Arkansas, so I guess maybe she's living there now. But that's neither here nor there. Just this is where Arkansas came from. And I do want to reiterate that, yesterday I went showing pretty much both of their backgrounds of being kind of questionable. She addresses that in her one of her posts and basically admits that she was with Project Veritas, and that was definitely like a planned attack at that senator. It was basically fake news. And it was a failed project, and one out of many of the things she's done for politics and whatever she does out there, that was, not necessarily a good thing. So I kind of, I give her a lot of credit for adjusting that, but we'll get to that. So these facts, along with the facts alleged in my company petition, constitute my request for an ex parte order of protection and a final order of protection. So it says, in her own handwriting, beginning January of 2023 and continuing through December 25th of 2025, I was involved in an intimate domestic relationship with the respondent, Jonathan Lee Riches. During the course of the relationship, the respondent engaged in a persistent and escalating pattern of domestic abuse, coercive control, intimidation, financial exploitation, and physical violence toward me. On 12/25/25, Christmas, the respondent violently assaulted me, causing extreme injuries, including a broken nose, broken septum, significant trauma to my hand and ribs. Jesus Christ. Requiring emergency care, CT scans, x-rays, and will require reconstructive surgery to repair my broken and crushed bones in my nose. This assault is currently pending felony assault charges, threats to kill with the Chief Criminal Deputy Prosecutor in Chelan County, Washington State, case number 25C12789, police report attached, which we read yesterday. Throughout the relationship, the respondent physically assaulted me on numerous occasions, including strangulation approximately 24 times. Jesus. In August, and this is what I said when watching the Taylor Frankie Paul, once you start going for the neck, his threats of caning her really become more of a real, because sometimes it happens and people don't mean for it to happen. I mean, they mean for it to happen, obviously, because they're doing it, but it can happen a lot quicker than you might expect. And once you're going for someone's neck, yeah, someone's going to eventually die in that relationship if it doesn't end, in my opinion. In August of 2025, a respondent committed a brutal assault against me involving beating me repeatedly with his closed fist. My God. Respondent threatened to kill me if I reported. And this is just proof of service. I feel like I'm missing a page, but that's fine. That's the meat of it. And let's go over to Magnolia's page now. I do want to point out also that it does look like she may have had reconstructive surgery. Like she says, I mean, I think, that is something that probably, either way, this is what she looked like when she was with JLR. And this is her photo now over on X. I don't know if this is a new photo, but definitely looks good. Hopefully she's doing better. So again, 2 hours ago, she did respond on X about the whole situation. This I know I can zoom in. So Magnolia says 2 hours ago, I wanted to acknowledge that I'm obviously aware that the Chilling County Domestic Violence Police report from Christmas Day and my protection order case have come to light. The New York Post reached out to me yesterday and I answered some of the questions they had for the story they were working on. The police report speaks for itself. This has been an extremely traumatizing beyond words, and withdrawing completely felt like the safest way for me to begin the long journey of healing. I've had support of family, police, doctors, advocates, and my therapist. Being thrown into the role of survivor has been the hardest thing I've ever endured. The impact this has on my life is immeasurable, and I know it's not something that will ever fully go away. I know the road ahead will be long, but I am taking it one day and one task at a time. I want to assure everyone that I am safe now. I did have surgery to repair my nose, and it appears to have been successful, but I won't know for several months if further treatment is needed. I do know that I'm very lucky to be alive, and I don't take that for granted. Rio, which was their dog they shared, so cute, oh my God. Rio is safe and has been with her throughout everything. He was not harmed, aside from being exposed to violence. Don't intend to rehash this publicly. I don't intend to rehash this publicly, but I do want to say that I'm incredibly grateful for the support I've received, for the many people who have reached out over these last couple of months out of concern for my well-being. Magnolia. And then an hour ago, she updates and says a few side notes. I always knew Nerdy Addict was a pretty good journalist, but I was astonished when he somehow figured everything out and broke the story a few days ago. Thank you, Matt Black Inc., for giving me a heads up. I had hoped to tell my story on my own terms one day, but Nerdy beat me to it. My hat is off to you, sir. As blindsided as I was, I have to say I'm impressed. You are very thorough. Well, let me finish reading this and I'll say what I think. I disabled this app back in January during an acute shock phase, and that's why I never changed my profile, working on it now. It looks like she changed her handle. It's now Magnolia X Rio. It was when I had first recorded this Magnolia JLR, so it looks like she made that update. So that's what she was talking about. That's why everything still had like ties to JLR, because she just stopped using X altogether. They changed the DM part of this app since then, so if you're someone who has DM'd me since then, I haven't seen it yet. So this is where she addresses the things we talked about yesterday with the senator. I am not ashamed of my time at Project Veritas, and I never will be. I love my PV family and always will. One outlandish failed operation over the years of great work is part of the job as an undercover journalist. Over this last month, I've been working on starting my own business, and I'll have more to say on that later. So she addresses it basically that it was a outlandish failed operation. And I mean, at least she just admits that. It kind of cut dry, boom, bang, bing. And I definitely respect her for that. Like I said, you can, even if she just outright lied, you can be a liar in a situation. Hey, Dudley. Hey, William. That's a pretty big story, but yeah, the beast, like, someone said that the bee was like separating herself from JLR. Like, when the fuck have you ever been tied to JLR? I mean, that makes a lot of fucking sense, you predatory ass bitch, but like, still, like, She's the one that told him to punch her. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sorry, I shouldn't be kidding about that. Damn it, William, it's your fault. But what was I saying? Oh, even if she outright lied about the senator, like just on her own whim or whatever, for whatever reason, and not with some sort of company that was basically like we had read yesterday, basically the project Veritas, they would set up senators like that and basically go to news outlets and have someone say, "Oh, this person did this to me." This so it wasn't the first time that that project had someone tied to it that did something like that. Is that ethical and good? Morality good? No, it's you shouldn't lie on people. But I assume she has done a lot of good. She seems like a very nice lady. She does not deserve to have her nose and face broken in, whatever reason. Regardless if she just outright lied about that whole thing with the senator, doesn't mean that she can't be abused and be and survivor. And so, um, I was glad to see that she updated. It's good to see that she's doing okay, and I'm glad the dog's with her. I guess JLR has another animal he was talking to like a weirdo. Um, as much as I have appreciated JLR's boots on the ground work, the guy is a weirdo. Always have said it, always felt like I said. And there was a weird, well, the first time I met him in Tennessee, it was just like he just seemed preoccupied and like they all seemed kind of snobbish, not to be, I mean, they were snobbish. It was him, Buller and Betty, Chronicles Olivia, and Molly. And Molly was the one that kind of wanted everyone else to like join up with them and like, but Buller and Betty wasn't having it. And the funny thing is, because Buller and Betty is the one that made the call to action, like, well, all these YouTubers ain't getting out here with boots on the ground and blah blah blah. So that's why like people like me and Laura Perplexed QT, a couple other people went out there because we're like, well, fuck that shit, I'll go right now. And I don't even live a fucking state away. I live across the country. So, anyways, point is that he just seemed kind of snobbish that time. The second time around, he seemed very chatty, very friendly. That's just really unfortunate, like Jennifer Coffindaffer said in her post, do people that domestically abuse change? She doesn't think so. I personally, I've caught that charge and I have not ever been arrested or reoffended in any way, shape, or form like that. I think, however, you can see a pattern here with this relationship. This wasn't the first time. It wasn't the only time that it happened. It happened many of times. And this was just the final straw that got the police there. And for me, it's not really a he said, she said thing because the police found evidence, enough evidence of bruising and stuff. And that's what I'm going off of. Like the police, and some people are like, well, she got a 3-year protection order. Yeah, a lot of people can do that even without evidence. So that's not really what does it for me. What does it for me is the police in Washington not only wanted to arrest him, but wanted to arrest him on a felony domestic violence charge. You know what I mean? And no dog in this fight, just wondering why 3 years, 24 times she was choked, I think, when he was on the road, leave or changing my locks or what. Yeah, no, I know. That's the thing is sometimes it's just hard to leave abusive people. You get that like Stockholm syndrome. You want to change, you want to fix them, you want to save them. Oh, it was just, there's a lot of reason why people don't leave. And also a lot of times, the most dangerous time of an abusive relationship is leaving. Like, I think it's like at least 50% of people that leave an abusive relationship die. So I think it's even higher percentage of that. I'm just going like baseline. I think it's 50%, but I think it's actually like in the 70s. It's more likely that someone will expire or be caged leaving a domestic violence relationship than get out successfully. So a lot of times it's one of the hardest things to do is to leave something like this. I get what you're saying, change the locks, go somewhere when he's out of town, but what it sounds like to me is, excuse me, still getting over this cold, just the cough won't go away, and it comes out of nowhere, especially when I'm like live just talking. I think because my throat gets dry. Let me have a little water there. But yeah, let me see what the actual statistic is. But what I was going to say is, I think that a lot of those times she was with him. Or, I think in the last 3 years when they were together, he wasn't traveling as much. So I think he was around her a lot more than it seems. And then you have, even if he's not there, you have that like invisible chain of like what she said, the intimidating factors, the calls, the tracking, your phone. There's so many ways that they can keep like a digital leash on you, even from a distance, that it's like you just feel like you're not safe to leave, even if they're not there. This day and age with fucking phone trackings and Apple tags, and it's a scary world out there, bro. And technology does not always help. My Aunt Susie tried to leave. He blew her 2 fingers off. Jesus. At least she only lost 2 fingers and not her life, but still, I mean, that probably kept her around a lot longer because, it's scary. I don't want to, I had a very good friend that passed away last year at a young age, and, she had complications health wise. She had addictions, mostly alcohol, but she was in a really bad domestic violence relationship. And I honestly feel that drinking and just putting her health aside, not caring as much as she should have been for her health, she had health complications. She just basically, it was like she died like trying to like survive that. You know what I mean? And it's not always as cut and dry as like someone just being murdered. Like a lot of people die in these relationships from self-inflicting like addictions and just not caring for themselves because they just stop caring. They can't get out of it. They can't escape it. No matter what they do, because mentally it just, these people fuck with their heads so bad that even if they have an opportunity, like with my friend who passed, like she was the breadwinner. She had the money. She had the family nearby. Like she had a lot more resources to leave, but these people are so abusive that they just don't leave. They feel they can't. And a lot of times they don't survive the relationship. And ultimately, I think that is what killed my friend. I don't believe that, I mean, while it was her health and stuff, I think if she had had a better life and wasn't in that relationship, she may have given more about her health. You know what I mean? I don't know. Abuse is horrible. It really is. So those are the updates I have. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Let me just refresh this, see if she's updated at all. Is he live right now? This motherfucker is live right now. Hey, let's go over to YouTube really quick. I was hanging over here at Dolly's, who I think Dolly's still live too, and they've been talking about it, and some people are bothered by that, but it's like, so let's go out of Dolly's and go back over. So yeah, I did notice that JLR was live. He is not only live, but he is, oh, Brooke is live. Well, I'm going to end this soon. So for the few people that are watching with me, thank you. I know that community drama is always more enthralling, but being remonetized, I am trying to bring you guys some content, and I felt this was like a good mix of drama. Unfortunately, life just brings us drama, so drama mixed with some aspects of true crime and real life, blah blah blah. So yeah, he's live with a steady fucking 11K. He's done this the last couple of days. Here, I'll switch over here. Yeah, so I muted it, but he's live over here. He's got Nancy big all over the screen. I mean, people talk shit about Vision, but at least Dolly Vision is paid probably like $1,000 3 times to fly out here. He's still in Tucson right now. I think he's leaving this evening. But like he'll come for a couple of days, kind of check in on the case, do some like light, like driving around, showing the area, showing what's up with the memorials and stuff, and basically updating. And that's a lot of dedication as well, like to JLR, who just sits in a car for a month and then goes home and is still milking this. Like, I mean, people want coverage of this case, so he's giving the people what they want. But honestly, I'm thinking of actually covering the case more because he doesn't deserve this kind of following, and it's really gross that he's not taking a break given what's being put out there. Someone came up on his channel yesterday and basically asked him why he was a fraud and an abuser, and he was just like, and like dropped him. And I'm like, you see, you can't just avoid this, bro. Like, but he's got, so he was at 55K a day or two ago, and he's now at, or I'm sorry, 553,000 is what he's at now. He was at 555,000 yesterday when I checked his Social Blade. Let's see what the update is on his Social Blade. But like I said, I like the guy's work that he's been doing. Wait, is he even allowed to talk about his situation now? I don't know. I mean, restraining orders typically mean you just can't, but maybe not. That's true. So he's ignoring the elephant in the room. Weird. I mean, he's really not really ignoring the elephant in the room. He's just more like just keeping on trucking with the Nancy stuff. You know what I mean? And that's probably going to be his saving grace because he's got so many people that are just interested in Nancy that a lot of the other stuff is not really going to affect his channel. But he is losing subscribers. He's not losing subscribers like Jay, like if you guys were around in like 2019, like the whole like Toddy, James Charles stuff. But he's not losing subscribers like James Charles or anything, but he is losing some subscribers. Why can you not just like help me find this channel? What is wrong with you? I hate this stupid. There it is. Social Blade can be really annoying. Okay, so as of now, it's calculated him down 2K. So it looks like he's lost about 3K total. As of yesterday, he had lost about 1 to 2K. So it's about 1,000 subscribers a day he's losing currently. Yeah, that's true. William just made that point, and that, yeah, you're right. Very true. Very true. And I think the guy didn't even really ask about the DV stuff. He asked more about like the litigation stuff. And he was like, I heard you sued your mom. And he's like, show proof. And I'm like, well, I think people have seen proof. That's why people have talked about you suing your mom. But that's neither here or there. I'm just saying. But, he's still going strong. He's still got 11+K watching. And I really, he's having like kind of like open, almost like call-ins, but I think he has people email and then he gives them the link. I don't know exactly how he's doing it. Just reading some of the chat. It's all about Nancy. Money. Abduction, not kidnap. Someone told him, bless you. So was the house up since Annie moved? Who was jelly of Annie and Tommaso? Ransom gone wrong. I like all these people. They should look into her will and see if anything's changed anyways. But that's what he's doing. So that's his update. For Magnolia, his ex-wife, Naomi, Lover and Riches, apparently had very similar experiences. That and Bullhorn Betty, Andra, that was part of the whole heels on the ground thing with him. They dated for a while, mostly behind the scenes. Like, I don't think everyone knew they were dating, but like eventually it was kind of known more like after the fact. But I remember when him and Magnolia first got together, there was beef with Andra, and she did, or Bullhorn Betty, and she had done a live saying he's going to cheat on you, he's going to beat on you. like run. And everyone thought that she, it's Bullhorn Betty, she's fucking crazy, blah, 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 blah. But 3 years later, look what happened. It's exactly what she said he was going to do to her. So, that's 3 accounts now. Then, and he gives off, I'm sorry, but like I said, the guy was really nice, like almost too nice. Very open, very like someone that's how abusers are. They're like super warm and super inviting. And then they flip on the script like quick as fuck, and they're fucking punching you in the fucking face. Like, they're not usually, I mean, there are those abusive guys out there that are kind of like gruff and stuff, but mostly like that's like verbal abuse. Not that that's any better, but I've noticed like when it comes to domestic violence, when the guy is the abuser, typically they're some of the nicest guys. You would never suspect it. Everyone's always saying like, oh, he's such a great guy. It's, like police officers, like, for instance, a lot of police officers are wife beaters. It's a fact. It's a demographic. It is what it is. And, everyone's out there saying, oh, he's such a great guy, such a great police officer. Look what he does for the city. Look what he does for the county, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes home and his wife says one wrong thing and he pops her in the fucking face. Like, it happens. And it's horrible. And it's usually the guys that you wouldn't expect. Not always. Bullhorn and Betty had to admit in court about both Dolly and JLR. We all knew about Dolly. They were like live and like, I don't know what happened, but I remember Benny Keys did a fucking song about it. That was a moment. That was a moment. Benny Keys just like rap singing about Dolly and Bullhorn and Betty banging. And I remember there was audio of them being like just like, oh, you're so hot. Like, just kind of like, stuff you didn't want to hear people talking to each other, like especially Bullhorn Betty and Dolly. Ugh, it's making my stomach turn. Like, I don't remember what it said. I just remember that it made my stomach turn then, and then I remember Benny Keys singing about it, and then it's all a blur from there. Like, oh my god, I missed Heels so bad. You were a mod for her. I loved her, dude. Her coverage of Betty. Oh my god, let's like play like one of her shorts on Betty real quick. Heels in the air, right? I loved her fucking name. I was so jealous that she came up with that. I was like, she's honestly the best. Like, just her one of her last videos was Who is Magnolia Sims? Who is Magnolia Sims? I don't know if that's the same Magnolia. Anyways, hold on. Writing dirty. Hold on. Betty's big mad at Dolly. OneStream deleted. Jonathan Lee Riches versus Unirock. And she also had the tea, man. She was on it. She's been gone a year now. That sucks. Liar, liar, Molly on fire. Poon on fire. Liar, liar, Poon on fire. Yeah, let me share her channel. Shit, this is hilarious. And if it, like, to the Williams and anyone who's never don't know who Heels is, she was an amazing creator. She passed away sadly about a year or so ago. And she did like shorts on these people, especially like the Bullhorn Baddies and stuff. And her shit is just sub up to her, watch her old stuff. She would be all over this right now. Oh my god. You know how many clips she would have gotten out there when like Dolly was out at Nancy's and JLR? Oh my god, I can just imagine. Like, I always loved her style. I would love to do like a short channel like this, like, where you're just making fun of these people all day. But they used to give a lot more. They used to give a lot more. This is what I tell Jen. Like, you're not the only one that people like. There was Heels. There's so many channels that used to cover these guys like religiously, but Heels was one of the better ones. Let's see, which one do we want to play? Let's do the Right and Dirty.
Are you coming to get me?
Rocking it. Left.
thank you all for joining in on this car ride. Anything could pop off at any moment, people. Thank you for the $120. I appreciate it. If anybody has Cash App me or Venmo,
for a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Night Road.
Holy fucking shit! Off, whore!
Now turn left
you!
and then turn right onto
I don't have this
Drive.
in there. You crazy?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, you think that I have?
Yeah.
I don't have. It's your phone. Turn off the map.
I had it turned off.
Marissa, knock,
on.
knock. Is anybody home?
Turn off. Turn the fuck off. Turn off.
I won't respond to that.
Turn the fucking phone off, you fucking bastard.
Holy.
Are you?
Yes, don't worry. We still have an audience.
Oh God, oh fucking my.
So.
That's not nice.
Shut the fuck up. Turn the fucking phone off. This isn't even that like edited.
I'm just trying to.
She used to pause the Betty ones and really go hard. This is just Molly yelling at her phone. Which, don't get me wrong, love it. Seriously, but hold on. Let's see. Make our streets safe again with JLR. Here we go.
Enjoying a nice evening stroll.
Yeah.
Clearing my mind. Let's make walking out at night with a tank top great again, baby.
Oh my God.
Enjoying a nice evening stroll.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I loved about her. Like, yeah. Oh. like just the subtle commentary.
Clearing my mind. Let's make walking out at night with a tank top great again, baby.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Seriously though. What's up? Is that you? He had some titties for a skinny guy, right? Like, maybe that's why he's so violent. He's like mad because he's got too much estrogen or something's going on. Let's see. Bullhorn Betty live streaming and
jailhouse call that I listened to. Oh, perfect. So it's corroborated that his sister was putting money on an account of another person for him to utilize drugs. His sister-in-law was putting money on somebody's account, and he was getting their meds. Ooh,
Jesus! She's like mowing down in this SUV, dude. Like, I know I'll glance sometimes, which is not. You shouldn't do it. You just shouldn't do it. I try my hardest not to look at the chat. I really do when I'm driving and live streaming. That's why I don't go on camera, because it's inevitable you're going to look at the phone. And I've seen live streamers die live streaming. You know what I mean? They're paying more attention to their phone, and then a big rig just like wallop some. Like, I've seen it. I used to watch a lot of shit like that. There's at least a couple of live streamers that die that way. At least. So that's just. Why is he just staring at those knives like that?
You think of Texas Roadhouse, or when the name Texas Roadhouse comes up, what do you think about?
Rolls. Now I think about rolls. If you know, you know. Like bags and bags of rolls.
What's your first thought? Steaks. Juicy steaks.
No rolls.
Delicious steaks.
Why you sitting next
What
to
do you cut a steak with?
a fucking knife, bro? Why are you freaking me out? This guy's creepy as fuck. See, I'm telling you. And she knew it. She saw through it. Shit.
Yeah, a knife. In all seriousness, a knife.
In all seriousness, you're talking about steak. Yeah, people use steak. Why are you making this so creepy? Oh my God. Yeah. If this was, someone needed to show Magnolia this shit. Like, fuck the warnings. Be like, just watch these shorts. Like, if you decide to date him, then it's on you. But That could be like in a fucking like a horror movie. Bullhorn Betty just wanting to help.
I personally don't believe Jackie Dobbs had anything to do with the disappearance of Summer Wells. So I just wanted to, one, let him give an opportunity.
Oh, and one other update is I was watching Dolly last night, and he was out. Yeah, she does. She did. She used to. She stays sedentary more. I like her more now than when she first jumped on the scene. She's still abrasive and has like very like abrasive opinions. Like she's like talking shit about Tucson and the light ordinance. And I'm like, it's not just for the average person. It's for the fucking observatories. It's for science, bitch. Like someone has to study the night sky. And if you want to live here, you have to live here without streetlights. Like it's just what it is. Like otherwise live somewhere where they're not studying the sky at night and you can have streetlights. Like you go an hour and 20 minutes north to like the Indian reservation, they got streetlights all over because they're not under anyways. But that triggered me when I was watching. She was like bitching at Tucson. I was like, I can't watch her. She gonna make me mad. But anyways, what I was gonna say, and I'm gonna end this soon, but Dolly last night was talking about being out in Georgia with them. Her and Molly, for instance, and I think JLR might have been there. I'm not sure. During the whole like, oh God, what was it? Leilani Simon, like when her son Quentin Simon went missing, they were looking for him and they were protesting across the street for them. Dolly was there, Betty was there. They were all there. And he said that when they weren't live streaming, they would be like filming these pitches and these scenes. They were trying to get a reality TV show, like her, Olivia, Molly, possibly JLR too, which kind of makes sense. Like if you remember when they first got together, they were doing like news segments, and you could tell they were trying to get some sort of clout off of being like this foursome that, and yeah, that's embarrassing kind of in my opinion, but yeah. Anyways.
To clear his name for the record and to give him an opportunity to tell us what the wells were like. I personally don't believe Jackie Dobbs had anything to do with it.
Well, you could just be like some people and like contacted the Wells directly rather than starting fights with them, because that's what they did. They did, besides Molly, they didn't really want to talk to them, especially Andra. And it was pretty easy. I have DMs still from Dawn and Candace Wells, so they weren't hard to reach. I mean, at the time they were very like getting overwhelmed. But I would have actually probably went up to the property and met with Dawn and Candace if they hadn't got them fired, because Laura had flowers, we had stuff to give them. I was texting him, and he was like pretty much like down, and then they ran up on them at the work site, got him fired, and they didn't want to meet with us anymore, which was understandable. Just me. But anyways, thanks for hanging out for the update. It's good that I was glad to see Magnolia had something to say and addressed everything. And I really have a lot of respect for her. Like I said, she even kind of admitted to the failed project with that Project Veritas to take down that senator. So it wasn't her best moment. She admits that, but she probably has done a lot of good for society. And even if she hasn't, it doesn't negate from the fact that police saw evident bruising and breakage, and that in itself was enough for me. But it doesn't negate the fact that you can't be a victim of domestic violence. Anyone and everyone can be a victim of domestic violence. And so hit the like, hit the dislike, leave a comment if you can, and I will see you guys soon. If there's any more updates or on other things, I'm sure I'll be live in the next day or two. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.